now that he's moved out, it makes sense. Now there's this extra room here that I can use as a studio, and our rent is going to double because he no longer is paying rent. So now we have to do this thing here. So it just made sense for me to not be in that studio. When I came back from Europe, I barely used it anyways because I was just teaching and surviving. That's the short story of it. The long story is not gonna be for YouTube. So let's move on to what we're doing. I have come a little bit more prepared, okay? We're not writing scripts here. I'm not that type of dude. You know, I am an actor. But this needs to be a window into who I am as a creative. I want this to be more of a diary of who I am as a creative. And this is also gonna be why it's not gonna be a focused channel. And what I mean by that is when you think of artists, especially when you think of artists on YouTube, you think of somebody that is focused. Peter McKinnon has really found a niche with photography. He's the biggest, as far as I know. I don't watch photography content as much anymore, but when I did, he was one of the top dogs. Like, he was killing it. He focused heavily, pretty much solely on photography. I don't wanna necessarily do that. And the reason why is because the everyday artist that you see, okay, they are not mostly focusing on one thing, okay? We as artists, I'm gonna close this so you can see see my chest. No, I just want you to see all of me. But most artists, like a grand majority, maybe damn near 90-something% of the artists that you know, we have to take jobs to do things, okay? We can't just focus on one thing. It takes a lot of sacrifice to get to the point where you can focus on creating the things that you want to create. So within that space, you know, even if you say you want to be a photographer, the things I like taking pictures of are bugs and flowers. But who's going to pay me to take pictures of flowers and bugs? Here's the list. Yeah. In the interim of doing these things that we love, we have to often take other jobs. Some people got kids, some people are in debt, some people, their minds just don't work that way. Even though I love photography, even though I love music, I would die a slow, painful death if all I did was one thing for the rest of my life. So here I am. This is Ángel Rafael Productions. So this is why this channel is not focused. It's an insight to what an everyday artist has to go through. We have to teach. We have to take care of our families. We have to have, and our friends, we have to have social lives. We have to cook. We have to do all of the things that people do while somehow simultaneously growing our art and growing our craft. And so I was thinking in my head, do I want to create another YouTube profile, create another thing specifically for film and keep the music separate? Or do I want to just open the door to my crazy manic brain and show y'all what it means? Every artist I know that sings, they also play an instrument, so they can be a hired gun for a band. They also design or paint or teach or blah. We got to do it. That's just, you know, all the people on YouTube that are making it seem like the life is glamorous, they represent a very small percentage of creators. For everybody else, we gotta hustle. So that's what this is. This is my hustle. This is my invitation to show y'all what it means to hustle. So that was that section. Let's talk about now, Ángel. What have you been up to? So what I've been up to is filming really big projects that demand a lot of post-production time. And now is the time for the post-production part. And this was the part that made sense for me to invite you in. I'm not good enough with filming yet. I still consider myself to be learning. Although I have some skill, you know, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. Anybody can point a camera, but it takes somebody that has imagination and a brain to actually film something. That part of the creative process needs focus and demands focus. And the last thing that I need to do is, you know, be on a selfie while I'm doing this and try to make some YouTube videos. So with all that being said, there ain't a whole lot of footage of me filming, but I do got a whole lot of footage.